Good morning, or depending on when you're watching this, good afternoon, good evening, or good night. My name's Ross, and as always told out of Voice Radio. So today, we're going to be looking at one of the most exciting new cards in the Pokemon trading card game that is going to be coming out in Dark Order. Just a quick side note, this will be in our February set. It's Doublade. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. We're not talking Aegislash today. No. I'm not terribly excited about Aegislash. We will talk about Aegislash later. There are things to like about Aegislash. There are things to enjoy about Aegislash. But today, ladies and gentlemen, is not that day. Today, it is all about Doublade. And you should know by now, when I'm bringing you a video about an evolving Pokemon, and it's its own video, you know it's going to be one exciting card, because, to be blunt, my standards for evolving cards are higher in terms of what gets their own video. So Doublade then, it's got 90 HP. I will say that in Expanded, or if we ever get a reprint, that gives you access to Level Ball, which is kind of nice, I suppose, though in any other context, it's quite low. We do like the resistance to Psychic because Garbodor is still a thing, and Espeon keeps popping in and out of the format, and Espeon GX will be doing naffle to this. Weakness to fire, I mean, look, it takes a hit from Moltres, and Expanded it takes a hit from Volcanion. That is about the best we can ask for of a Pokemon this small. I don't like the retreat cost of 2, but given that you're attacking for a double colorless energy, if you ever really need to retreat here, you have got 2 energy on there that can be used to retreat. So although it's not amazing, I can live with its retreat cost. Being a metal Pokemon, you are hitting a great weakness, and yes, even though it's an evolving basic, you'll be doing a fair amount of damage here. You're hitting weakness on Gardevoir GX, which doesn't seem to be going away anytime soon. You're hitting weakness against Sylveon GX, and more importantly than either of those, Alolan Ninetales GX. You see, ladies and gentlemen, Alolan Ninetales GX, I did a video about it the other day. I'll try and remember to pop a link in the description. And put quite simply, it's phenomenal. When you evolve up into it, you get to search your deck for any 2 item cards, put them into your hand. It's seeing play in a whole bunch of decks. It looks really good. I think there is a huge amount of potential here. And you're hitting it for weakness. It's probably going to see play in a whole bunch of different decks, and you're hitting it for weakness. As far as I am concerned, that is pretty gosh darn tasty. So what does it actually do, though? Well, according to the lovely David Hochmann, you get to do 30 damage for just a double colorless energy for each Pokemon tool attached to all Pokemon in play. And if that sounds familiar, ladies and gentlemen, it absolutely should. It's Tool Drop. Oh no, wait. It's better than Tool Drop. And there's 2 things I love about this more than I love Tool Drop. Number 1, it's for a double colorless energy, whereas Trubbish's Tool Drop was for a Psychic and a colorless. Now I know after a while we did get Dimension Valley, etc., but it's still a little bit awkward. And also, it's 30 times, not 20 times. Now, if you're hitting for weakness, this is kind of easy. 3 tools attached to all Pokemon in play, yours and your opponent's. You're doing 90 damage. Whack a Choice Band on, which of course would be one of the 3 tools in play. And all of a sudden, that's 240. So Gardevoir, Sylveon, and Alolan Ninetales, they all go down here. That's pretty sweet. I like this a lot. So if you're hitting for weakness here, it's kind of hilarious how quickly you'll get up here. Choice Band on yours, 2 tools on any other Pokemon, 240, nice one-hit KO. The thing is, this builds up quicker and quicker and quicker and quicker and quicker and quicker and quicker. And it just keeps going. So if you're against something like a Zoroark, they've got 210 HP, you need 7 tools in total. And as soon as there are 7 tools on the field, yours and your opponent's, then you're hitting 210 damage, and you're getting a nice easy one-hit KO on a Zoroark here. Now there is every possibility your opponent's just going to go, okay then, I just won't play tools? But this is good. You're making your opponent not play tools they want to. Let's say you're against a Lapras deck. Now, Lapras has lost Max Elixir, So they're really relying on experience share, whereby one of your Pokemon gets KO'd and the energy moves over. They want to conserve that energy. If they put down a bunch of experience share, you get to just do an extra 30 damage per experience share. And if they don't put down experience share, brilliant. Because then as soon as you do get a KO, and there's nothing to stop you playing Pokemon other than Doublade here, you can play other Pokemon. As soon as you do get a KO, you're loving it. Because now they're losing all of their energy. And that's hilarious. You sometimes see Rayquaza decks playing Wishful Baton, and it's exactly the same deal. If they want to conserve their energy to keep getting KOs, they need Wishful Baton. And if they play Wishful Baton, you do more damage. And yes, you could look at both Lapras and Rayquaza and be like, you got 90 HP, I'm getting easy one-hit KOs. Well, play another attacker then. Play an attacker that can KO them anyway, force them to have to use stuff to conserve their energy, and then take advantage of it with Doublade. I like this. Now sure, your opponent can just play a Field Blower and get rid of tools on the field, and remember, Field Blower can get rid of your own tools, so you could even see your opponent here playing Field Blower to get rid of their own tools. But one funky combination you could have here is with Garbodor. Because if your opponent isn't playing their tools, or they're trying to use Field Blower to get rid of your tools, that means they're playing more items. They may well end up discarding some of their tools using stuff like Ultra Ball, because they can't play them. In which case, you take advantage with Garbodor. They're going to play a Field Blower to get rid of your tools, in which case you take advantage with Garbodor, doing an extra 20 damage for each item they've got in their discard pile. And you can keep going with this. And sure, maybe they don't attach any tools. And in the same game they're not attaching tools, they're also able to not discard their tools. But I don't know how often that's going to work, to be perfectly honest with you. And we've got some decent options here for actually getting a load of tools on your side of the field. It's a Pokemon which hasn't seen a huge amount of hype, but we are getting a Genesect GX, which has an ability that allows you to attach 2 tools to it. Well, that sounds pretty gosh darned exciting. And a little while ago, I showed you Doublade. Doublade for a single colourless energy, and bearing in mind, Doublade is a stage 1, so you're going to need a turn 1 attack. Hey, it's a basic, it's for 1 energy, that sounds like a turn 1 attack waiting to happen. Choose as many bench Pokemon without a tool attached to them as you like. Search your deck for a tool and attach to each of those Pokemon. You cannot attach 2 tools to Genesect using this. It is 1 tool per Pokemon, but you could potentially get 5 tools in play here using a Doublade. That's 150 damage. Maybe your opponent's got a Field Blower to get rid of 2 of them, but that's not 5. Maybe your opponent's got 2 Field Blower to get rid of 4 of them, but then at that stage you could actually take advantage of this and go, oh, sweet, brilliant. And then you just attach the rest of your tools because your opponent's out of Field Blower. I should mention at this stage, while you're running around playing a bunch of tools, how about Metal Frying Pan? Metal Frying Pan here attaches to your metal Pokemon, reduces damage done by 30, gets rid of your weakness. You're going to need tools here. So maybe you play Escape Board to give yourself some free retreaters. Maybe you play Choice Band to do a bit of extra damage. Maybe you yourself play an Experience Share. Or maybe you just go Metal Frying Pan. We've got enough options. One of the biggest downsides of this, unfortunately, is that you are reliant on double colourless energy. Now, counter energy will work just as well here, but counter energy you've got to be behind on prizes. In theory, you've got 8 energy, but counter energy won't always work. The thing is, this is the same energy we've had for Persimmon, and Persimmon has coped okay here. The thing is, we've lost Special Charge, and we've lost Puzzle of Time. So we don't have great ways to recover special energy. Sure, you can use Diantha, but that relies on you having had a fairy Pokemon KO'd. And sure, there are GXs like Bayonet, but that kind of defeats the object of playing a non-GX. So there is potentially going to be an issue here, just purely in terms of, hang on a second, what if my opponent gets rid of all of my energy? Although while we're a non-GX, we should mention Shrine of Punishment here. I mean, yeah, I know we mentioned it with every non-GX at the moment, but you should. It's that gosh darned awesome. It's brilliant. Putting one damage counter on each EX and GX between turns while you're sitting here rocking without them is great. Although, of course, Genesect will be a GX. And there is absolutely a deck here where you just use Doublade and Doublade and you just crush. And you play a whole bunch of tools, use Doublade to get them out. The reality is here, your opponent isn't going to have infinite Field Blower. They're probably not going to be playing that many Field Blower. With Garboda rotating out, people are playing less Field Blower because they don't need to shut off Garboda by getting rid of the tool. I think this is a great time to be playing it. You play a bunch of your own tools using Doublade, and then you can smash with that. Maybe your opponent does play their own tool, in which case you get an extra 30 damage. They probably won't, but that's fine. Because you know what? They're not doing stuff that they want to do. And if they're not doing stuff that they want to do, great. Absolutely great. And it's also, before we finish, worth mentioning here, this is for double colourless energy. So if you wanted to play it with something like Garboda, just play some basic Psychic. There's no specific energy requirement here, so there's no problem with playing whichever Pokemon you want as well as this. Delabird's colourless energy, Doublade's colourless energy. Essentially, play whatever you darn well like. I like Doublade. I'm giving it 4 Wassies. Maybe the fact that it is a stage 1 and relies on double colourless energy and only has 90 HP, all of that might end up making it not see any play. But Tool Drop was fun for a while, and it's a single energy attachment, and it builds up quickly. And we got Delibird. I like it. I think it's worth a test. But maybe you do, maybe you don't. Either way, I've got great news. There's a comment section. Go nuts, but do remember the rule, please. Be nice. Make sure you like this video, subscribe to this channel, follow me on Twitter at TheWassie, and Twitch for some live action at twitch.tv/PTCGRadio. If you want to support the channel, get some bonus podcasts and all of that, head on over to patreon.com/PTCGRadio, where you can do exactly that. And do make sure you're checking out Wassie Plays for some Transformers and Dragon Ball TCG action. Transformers is out now. I'm starting to cover that game pretty deeply, but don't worry, there's a Learn to Play video as well, so do check it out. But by far the most important thing, as always, is to look after yourselves until next time. Thank you very much for watching. My name's Ross, and you've been watching PTCG Radio.